Hello, this is Deb Joyce Meek with Delight of My Art. Welcome to day 1 of 6 for our 12 different projects with our Santa's Workshop Craft Along for 2025. I'm so glad that you're able to join me today, whether it is live or on the replay. I know this is a busy week. We're doing this during the week of Thanksgiving, so even I have to do some pre-recording for some of these days, including today, Wednesday, and Saturday at least. So we will go ahead and dive in, but first I wanted to show you what you were opening up if you got the full package for the craft along. We have tutorials here, 32 pages of detailed tutorials with diagrams and measurements and all of that. So if you would like to get your hands on the tutorials, these are really going to help you to follow along with the crafting video. I do tend to speed through these directions a little bit, so if you're following along, you definitely do want to have your pre-cut pieces ready to go. If you would like to get your hands on this tutorial, you can go to craftalong.orderwithdeb.com. There's a link to purchase that. It's $35 for the tutorials for all of those pages, or you can get it for free if you place an order in my online store of over $50 before tax and shipping and after you apply any of your rewards. And that is at orderwithdeb.com. So you can also place an order there if you'd like to have any of the products that we're using today. And you can always email me. I have 2 full packages left. So I wanted to show you all of the fun things that are inside here. You can email me at the email on the screen there. First come, first serve for those 2 full packages, but those would include the email tutorials, of course. The full package here includes half a pack of the Ornamental Christmas Designer Series paper. That's a specialty paper. Half a pack of the Christmas Tags and More specialty paper. We have 3 pieces, 6 by 12 of the vellum and gold foil and window sheets. We also have a full stack of cardstock here for you to cut up throughout the whole 6 days here. And that's all pre-packaged for you too. And then we have some pre-cut die cuts for you. Anything that is included in the bundles, we just include the cardstock for you to cut it. We are featuring Ornamental Christmas and Festive Friends. Both of those have awesome die sets here. These right here. And then in Festive Friends, these are so cute, aren't they? And so those are right there. These bundles are not included in case you already own them, but you can always purchase those in my online store and then earn the tutorial here for free. We are inside of that package. You also got the cutest little gift bag. It's elf pants. It's elf pants. They're so cute. So inside your elf pants, you have all of the products that you'll be using on your craft along. Now, this is mine, so I have already dipped into all of the things that are in here, but we have your deer dots. There's some red dots up underneath here, but these are all the dots that we'll be using on our craft along. You'll get a full package, of course. We also have loose gold sequins, and I accidentally in my pictures used our loose gold shaker stars. So both of those would actually work for this. I didn't realize that we had picked the loose gold one. So either one of those is going to work just fine. But in this package, we included the loose gold sequins. I'm working with 5 other awesome demonstrators, by the way. You also get a full pack, not this little, I've really used this ribbon. It's garden green chevron ribbon, love it. So you'll get a full roll of garden green chevron ribbon. And you'll also get a full roll of the basic beige ribbon. Now, when we designed this class, we did design it using the mesh gold ribbon, and that one's actually out of stock until February. It was very popular, very, very beautiful ribbon. So in the pictures, in the tutorials, and in the descriptions, it'll probably say gold, but we're going to use beige just for our tutorial here. So if you have that at home, you can go ahead and substitute that, but beige goes with just about everything, and it's a nice neutral tone. So we'll use that one as well. And then we also have this cute little pen here, wishing you a happy holiday. You just happen to be incredible. And the pen here is glittery Hopefully you can see that. And it's not like the chunky glitter that's going to hurt your fingers. It's very smooth. So very nice clicky pen. That's one of your gifts in here. And we also have some candy. Don't eat this because it's part of one of our projects coming up, but you have a good amount of candy stuck in the toes for the gift bag here. So that is what is included in the full package. It's all wrapped up in a bubble mailer and sent to you. So if you'd like that, again, you can email me at that address right there. But right now, we'll just go ahead and dive into project number one, because that's what we do. We go ahead and dive in. So I'll take my face away here. We will go to desktop only. I'll have my trimmer handy here, and I'll have my directions off screen handy as well, with all of the inks and everything that we're going to be using. First, we're going to be starting using the Festive Friends stamp set. So I have already done my stamping with my little Santa Claus here. Let's see, I'll show you the project first. This is the card that we're making. All of the projects today, the two are made by Melissa Faust, or designed by Melissa Faust. And so she is one of our design persons. Let's go ahead and hide this banner here, sorry. So this is a cute little card here featuring kind of both of the stamp sets here. So I actually added the inside here, so we'll give you the measurements for that too. That's a little bonus for you. Let's go ahead and put this one together. So I'll give you all the measurements and everything. So let's see. I have all of my pieces pre-cut. You'll want to have these two trees out. This one's from Ornamental Christmas, and this one's from Festive Friends. So just some cute little trees. I'm going to be using Garden Green and Shaded Spruce. I stamped my Santa in Memento Black. So there's the black, and then we have some more in the next package, or the next project. We're going to be using Real Red. So those are the colors we're going to be using today: Black, Garden Green, Shaded Spruce, and Real Red. So here is project number one. All right. So I'll just put all my pieces to the side here. We'll get out our card base. This is 8.5 by 5.5, scored in half at 4 1/4, your basic card base. So I'll just go ahead and fold and burnish that. I already did my scoring. That's our card base. Now the front of this, you'll get your fa la 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 paper, and she has had that cut just to the same size as a card front, 4 1/4 by 5.5. I wanted to try a little bit something different. So here is the one that she had on the directions, and I like that full front. I just thought maybe we could try something a little bit different with this one, because I like to kind of change things up on my second go round. So let's see if we can make it a little bit different. I think I'm going to make it just a smidge smaller and maybe matte it with a Real Red piece. And I just probably should know what the size of this one is. I think it's 4. Let's just double check. Yeah, 4 by 5 1/4. So we're just going to cut this one just a smidge smaller than that, so that it can fit with a real slim border. So let's go ahead and take that trimmer back out here. Put this one back in the screen so you can see it. So I'm not sure. You'll just have to let me know which one you like best, because there's this version, and then we're going to make it just a little bit different. So the other one the red was 4, so we're going to go in 1/8 of an inch. So it's going to be 3 7/8. That's two little lines past that 4 right there, like so. And then if this is 5.5, again, we want to go, or 5 1/4 was the red one, right? So we want to go 1/8 smaller than that. So we're just going to go to 5 1/8. So 3 7/8 and 5 1/8 with that one. I'll recycle those pieces. So here's our fa la 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 paper. We're going to put this on our red mat. Let's go ahead and glue that piece. This is a fun paper, right? Got some gold foil going on. I am not live today, so if you're having comments, I might be seeing the replay, but I had to take my daughter to the orthodontist today. It's not a family affair, it's just the orthodontist. So I saw that was in the calendar and I go, oh, shoot, I scheduled that right on top of when I wanted this video to go. But we did have to push our craft along back 1 week just because this paper, my Christmas tags and more specialty paper was out of stock for so long, and it finally came back in. But in order to get it in time to mail everything out, we did have to delay a little bit. So that's why we're doing this the week of Thanksgiving. That's okay. All right, so we have our card base here in basic black. We're gonna layer some red on here. It just gives it a little pop of color to kind of complement the Santa, I thought. So why not? I also need to get a piece of scrap paper, don't I? So, hang on just a moment. I'm just gonna grab a piece of printer paper. This will be my scrap paper. We're gonna do some stamping on this little tag. Isn't this cute? This is included in the Festive Friends as one of the dies. And it's just got this cute little retro star that is cut out of there. So we're gonna take our trees like I had before and take the greens that I had recommended here. We have garden green and shaded spruce. So the taller one here is going to be garden green. And I like our ink pads, Stampin' Up, they give you an extra little bar to put on the inside in addition to the end here. So when you have two open and they're hard to tell the difference, if you're just looking at the ink pads, you can tell the difference in the color bar up there. That helps a lot. All right, so I'm gonna tap, tap, tap in the ink pad here. I'm gonna put one over here and one kind of down a little bit more over here. Kind of stagger. And then I'll ink up my shaded spruce one. Kind of go fill in right there. And this is covered mostly by the Santa, you can see. So it's fine to not fill in the middle there. There we go. By the way, since we have, well, we're steering away from red rubber stamps, but if you still have some cling stamps and you're wanting to mount those with the stickers, sometimes I don't line it quite up right with the stickers, but when I'm putting it on my block, I make sure that there's if there's a line in there or a line of text, I line it up with the actual block so you can see that the line in the tree is parallel with the edge of my block. So that way, even if the picture on the front is a little bit crooked, I know if I line the block up with my project, then it will be straight. So that's a little tip for you too. I did already stamp my Be Jolly on here because I did mount this one crooked. So you can see on this one, see the B is not straight with the block on the sticker side, but on the stamp side, it is. So then when I'm stamping, I know I can put my block straight on there. It took me a couple tries, so I'm not going to do that one on camera. I stamped this. This is one of your included little die cuts in that little die cut package. So this one is soft seafoam. It's from the Arch dies, and it's about 1 inch by 1 3/4. It's the smallest little arch. So that's just going to go over here. We have the white piece here. We have our little Santa, and I'll be coloring that guy. I'll put these pieces off to the side here. We also have some little scraps here for the inside. So there's a garden green piece. This one is 4 inches by 3/4. So 3/4 tall by 4 inches. And this piece is the back of that ornament piece. It's got gold on that side, but a lot of just cross-hatchy images on this side. This piece is, let's see, 4 inches by 1/2 inch. So it's 1/2 inch tall. So I'm going to put these off to the side here. We will save those. And I'm just going to do my coloring. Because we're using blends, and I love blends, we are using the scrap paper because it does bleed through your paper. However, everybody looks like a coloring expert when you use blends. And we have our blends for Black Friday special are 40% off starting tomorrow through December 1st. And let me just say, unless they have a giant stockpile, all of the favorite colors are going to disappear. So I would highly recommend if you have blends on your list, and you should have blends on your wish list, to log in tomorrow. And I think that it starts Mountain Time at midnight tonight. So starting Tuesday, you can get blends at 40% off, including there's other things on sale. Our trimmer blades are 40% off. The Stampin' trimmer is 40% off. Select cardstock. I'm not sure exactly the percentage, but that's on sale. I'm not sure which cardstock because they haven't told us yet. We didn't get all the details of exactly everything that's on sale, but definitely worth checking out at orderwithdeb.com tomorrow or at midnight Mountain Time. That's 2 a.m. for me, so that's pretty early, but select adhesives are on sale, not 40%, but I think 25%. Ink bundles, so I don't know what that means exactly either, but worth checking out, right? So I'm using the light real red on the outfit and the hat here. So I like to layer my blends. They're great at layering. So real red, and then I take my dark real red and I do it on the sides like a little shadow, as if you got a light source coming straight in from the front here. So his sleeves are kind of shaded because it's behind him. Maybe his beard's casting a little shadow on the shirt here. And then you can blend that with the light one again. So where that kind of overlaps, you can kind of color it again, and it is kind of dark to start with, and then it starts to fade as the alcohol marker dries up. But these are alcohol markers. If you've heard of Copics, these are the Stampin' Up! Version of Copics, only they match our ink colors, which is fabulous. So here is some shading on the Santa's red part. Now I'm going to take black, and I like using the light black to color in something that should be black. You can layer on top of with the same color. This one has little black gloves. I'm going to leave this one with white gloves, and we'll just see the difference. So here, I like using the thick side to color, but this does get, you have to be careful with your thick tip that you don't smash it. I kind of color with the side of it, and it does bleed out just the tiniest bit. So as you're coloring, just don't go all the way up to the lines and then some, because it will just kind of bleed out just the tiniest bit. So you can see on the back here that it does bleed through the paper. So that's why it's good to have a little scrap paper. You can see it kind of bled through just the tiniest bit, not too much. So I have my black there. And since I did the black and we waited just a minute, I'm going to take my thinner tip, which is on the other side, and just add another layer of black. Maybe his tummy's shading his boots there a little bit on the top side. So now we have two tones on the black. I'm going to take my ivory marker. I like to use this one for skin colors, although we have like 5 different markers, 5 sets of markers, so 10 different skin tone colors. Those are in my cart to order for tomorrow because I didn't have them yet and I want them for 40% off. But right now I have the ivory. This one comes with an ivory and a bronze, so a light tan and a dark tan, which have been great so far for skin tones. But now I can add even more to my collection. I'm going to color his nose, and I forgot to color his ears over here actually, so oops, maybe those are earmuffs. So this one's in my cart to replenish too because the tip's getting a little bit dry. So I'm going to order another one of these tomorrow too. So I've colored that one. I'm going to take light, pretty, and pink for the cheeks and the nose. This will make him have that jolly Santa look. Now it looks like he was out in the snow, and it's a nice subtle one. And you can go back over it with the ivory to kind of soften that look a little bit. So that looks a little dark right now, but it'll kind of blend out as it dries. Now we can bring in our Wink of Stella, which is our glitter brush. And on Melissa's, she did the Wink of Stella on the Santa hat, on the red, everywhere that it's red, on his jacket and on his hat. I'm going to do it a little different, and we're going to do it on the white part. And so let's see which one of those we like better. So I'll just add that to the pom-pom of the hat, the brim of the hat, maybe his gloves and his kind of belt, or the end of his shirt here. I'm not going to make his beard sparkle, although Santa's got a sparkling personality. I don't think his beard would sparkle. So there we have our cute little Santa. And I think I'm done with my scrap paper here for now. I'll put our markers to the side here, and we can get our pieces out for assembly. Oh, this middle white piece, which is not in the measurements in your tutorial, because I just added that, is 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. And the little strip here is, I think, 3/4 inch wide. I just found another piece on the paper where it could get the whole wording there, and then just cut a strip that's 4 1/4 wide. So I forgot to do that for this one, but we'll just stick this one on the inside. All right, so I have my front piece here. We'll just glue this piece down. And again, this is just slightly different than Melissa's version. We just wanted to have fun and try something a little bit different. I'm going to try to make things slightly different each day from the tutorial, which is sometimes a little bit hard because the images are so cute that sometimes they just don't need modifying. All right, so I'm going to take my little strips here. We're going to do some angle cuts. That is in the description there. We'll glue this one down. I hope everybody's having a great day today. Let me know in the comments what your plans are for Thanksgiving, whether you have to travel or if you're staying close to home. Are you cooking, or do you have somebody else doing that for you? We'll go ahead and angle cut. I'm going to angle cut these on the opposite side. So it's the other angle. Ooh. I had cardboard in my window because it's sunny at this time of day, differently than it usually is for 2 o'clock, because I'm going a little bit early. That's funny. So, oh my goodness. Okay, well, hello? Can you hear me? Well, that's an adventure. Well, we were just going to carry on, and we've got this little angle cut piece here. I angled cut this one to the left, and then this one's to the right. So just snip off however much you need to snip off. This one's a little bit shorter than this one, just because we had less room on the Fa La 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 paper to deal with. That I hope your day is an adventure, much like not like a crash, though. Not crash and burn, but an exciting day. Today's an exciting day. We'll just have things fall out of the window. Everything's fine. All right, so we'll just go ahead and put this piece here. Just kind of a crisscross. And we got our tag here. We're going to add this one with dimensionals. Right here in the corners. And probably 2 in the middle too, there. And then this guy's going to need dimensionals too. So while we have those out, you can see how that bled through there, which is just fine. Just make sure you have scrap paper behind there when you're doing that. And on the back of our Be Jolly piece here, that's in garden green, we're just going to put one on the rounded part because that's going to need some support over there. And I already pre-tied my bow too. All right, so we have our banner piece, or our tag piece. You can see how handy this tutorial is to prepare things, to cut them in advance a little bit. So I'm gonna put this slightly off to the left just because we have this little piece going off to the right over here, and I wanted to give it enough room. And I'm gonna add a little bit of seal to flat sides just so it sticks down nice. So there's that. We're gonna put our little Santa on here. I was able to pick up my daughter from college this weekend, so she is upstairs cleaning. So if you hear any squeaking or banging around, that's her preparing the room to move back home. All right, so I'm going to put my ribbon here on a glue dot. And I'm actually going to put this one up here on the tag topper to put it in a little bit of a different spot. So we have a little bit different way to put this same card together, right? And actually, let's cut a piece of the paper here. I'll just pull all of this out here. We need the la 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 la. Because I like how that looks in there. Or we could even use a different piece. So if there's another piece in here that might work, maybe we could do striped gold. We don't really have gold in anything else on the card though, so maybe not the gold. I like that fa la la la. Makes me think of, what's that cartoon movie where they go la 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 la. Big Hero 6, I think it is. All right, so, well, not that one. There it is. La 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 la. So let's do just a little strip here. And you can see I'm going to line this up right there at the top of those letters. And then I'm going to cut it at 3/4 of an inch to get most of those letters on there. There, now we have that, and we're going to do 4 1/4, but just the tiniest smidge less so we have room to for the fold. So it's 4 1/4 minus 1 little 16th. In fact, yeah, that's fine. Yep, that's good. Okay, so on the inside here, oh look, we did some tree stamping here too. So let's do that again. We still have our trees. You could do the same stamp on the envelope in the corner in the bottom left. So if this is your envelope, I would do the same trees over there in the left side. So here's our garden green. Tap, tap, tap. Like so. I should have my scrap paper out here. And then our shaded spruce. Put this, close this one so we don't get ink everywhere. And we did get ink everywhere, but that's okay. Everything's fine. I just roll with the punches, you know, have things falling all over me and getting ink all over the table. Probably get some on my fingers, maybe some glue. Everything will be fine. I got my positive pants on today. How about you? Gotta have our positive, thankful pants on for the week of Thanksgiving. All right, so this is just gonna center. Again, that was what, 3 1/4 by 4 1/2 was this little white piece. And then we're just gonna cover that with this cute little banner here with the fa la 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 la. And I'm gonna kind of mostly or half close this so I can make sure that I have enough room. See, that's perfect with all the way over there, and we have it right up against the edge. So that 1/16 of an inch was necessary to get that to be closed. So there's our 2 cards for project number 1 of 12. We're just doing 2 today, but we still have another project to do. So let me know which one of these you like best in the comments. the original or the added red. They're pretty much the same, right? So just slightly different. And let's go ahead and move on to project number 2, which is this adorable little gift box with a slide out, and the punch out from the front is now on the inside here. Oh, you know what I forgot on this first one? Wait a minute, paused. We still need to add from our elf pants. I need to add our dots. Can't forget the dots. Our fun embellishments. So this one had green on it. I'm going to add a little bit of red since we can. And I don't know where my take your pick tool went. Is it right here? It's always, no, it's always being used, and so I probably moved it somewhere else. We'll just add a pop of red. I feel like that kind of pops a little bit more than the green. So there is our 2 different pieces. All right, again, we will move forward with our adorable little gift box here. And the bottom here is made from a thick basic white piece. And we will go through the construction of this one together now. I'm going to turn my page in my craft along here so I have all of the pieces handy. So, and thick basic white, it's going to be 5 1/8 by 5 1/8. There is a diagram on the tutorial for you to see. So 5 1/8 by 5 1/8. We're going to score this at 1 inch on all the sides. And we have a couple more pieces here. So I'll just rattle those off real quick. We've got a piece of garden green cardstock, 3 1/4 by 9, and we're going to be scoring that with the long side at the top here in just a minute. And we're going to need a piece, actually the end of this, if this is 9, this is 11. So if you just cut this piece off, you'll be using this little extra piece to do your die cutting with that little tree from Festive Friends. It's such a cute little tree. Whimsical, kind of cartoony. And that goes right here. That little center section does punch out, but if you cover that with a piece of tape or your dimensionals, it will all just stick back together. We also have a few more pieces. We have a piece of shaded spruce, 3 1/8 by 3 1/8. We're using the DSP here from the Christmas tags and more, 3 by 3. And we have a window sheet that's 3 by 3. So you'll cut this from your 6 by 12 piece. We'll be using window sheets for another project down a couple days later. I think it's tomorrow actually. And so those are all of our pieces. I do have the little bow here. I have my pre-cut little tag piece right here. This is part of our Festive Friends. So we'll be doing the stamping in that in real red. And let's go ahead and get started. Doesn't look like I was planning on doing an alternative on this one, but maybe we'll do snowflakes instead of these cute little stars here. There's different dies as an option in this one. So let's go ahead and start scoring some things. We'll stack all of our pieces over here. And these pieces need to be scored. So we'll get out our trimmer. Trimmers are 40% off and blade replacements tomorrow. So want to take a peek at your trimmer if you'd like this awesome trimmer here. We've got a scoring blade, and we are going to score this garden green piece, which again is 3 1/4 by 4 by 9. We're going to put it in at the long side and score at 3 1/4, 3 1/4, 4 1/4. So that's 3 1/4, 4 1/4, and bring out the arm here, which we can go super long, but we're not going to go quite that long. 7 1/2 and 8 1/2. So 7 1/2 and 8 1/2. So one more time, that was 4 1/4. I'm sorry, 3 1/4, 4 1/4, 7 1/2, 8 1/2. So we have an inch marking there and an inch here with a little 1/2 inch tab at the end. Okay. Oops, and before we put that away, we're going to do the scoring on the thick white one. We're going to do 1 inch all the way around. So get that dark one out of the way. We're just going to do some scoring here. 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch and 1 inch. And we should be good now. I'm going to get my snips out. And on the white piece, according to the directions here, we just cut up on this side up to that first score line. We are going to do some notching. I don't know if that was on the directions, but I'm going to do some notching. I feel like it makes the box just come together just a little bit cleaner. Not necessary, but you can add that notching if you want. And then we're just going to turn it all the way around and do the exact same thing. This is just your basic box bottom. So up again on this one. There we go. Get all of those into my trash bin right here. And fold on all of those score lines. So now we have our basic box. I'm going to take my Stampin' Seal Plus, which looks like it's about to run out, and it totally did. So we will have to get a refill for that for tomorrow. And I'll just use my Seal Regular, which will be just fine. You could also use Tear and Tape or liquid glue. With liquid glue, you're going to have to hold it there for a hot minute. So not a hot minute, like 10 seconds. I'm just going to put these corners together here. Fold both of those in. And then here is our box bottom. There, so it's got 1 inch tall, and it's just a nice little tray. Now this one, on the diagram, it's nice to have this diagram here. It has these two pieces are going to be glued together, and then we need to put the shape on here to die cut. So let's go ahead and add these two. In fact, if we just add glue around the outside, I'm going to show you something magical here. So if we just did the outside, and again, just the outside and not the center, when we die cut this, we'll end up with separate pieces that we can add to projects separately. So I'm adding this to the far left side. So we have that little tab over here, and this is the big one. We've got all of these fun layers going on. And now I want to grab the Ornamental Christmas. There's this nice big ornament shape here. Oh, you know what? I wonder if any of these other ones would fit on here. Would this tree one fit? This would be super cute, right? Oh, it does. We're going to try the tree because there's a tree on it. Huh. So this, it's going off to the left. So this will be up. So if you were doing the ornament in the diagram, this is how the orientation is. So the little pointy bit is at the bottom. It's getting covered up by the diagram or the banner tag there. This is how we're going to run it through the machine. Okay, so let's do this. And we also need to run this one as well. So let's get out my mini machine, and we're going to get out some washi tape too to make sure that this tapes down here nicely and doesn't move in my machine. And I didn't prepare my big machine because I was thinking to use my little one. Now I'm thinking, I hope this is not too wide to fit in the little one. We're going to find out. It might be a snug fit, but I don't know. Okay, so let's scoot these off to the edge here. We're gonna get this. Here's my mini. I love the mini because, you know, we all craft and fill up a desk no matter how much room we ever have. Oh, it fits. Look at this. I always fill up the entire desk. So it's a lot easier to prepare a spot and clear a spot for this mini machine than it is for the big one. However, if you were to pick one of the machines and not both, You would want the big one, of course, but this one's fabulous for bringing to crops or traveling or just fitting on your desk because your desk is so full. So hopefully that went through all the way. Let's just make sure. We might need to run that through just one more time, just because we're going through 3 layers of cardstock there. So let's go ahead and in with the mini. There is a trick here. If you stagger the plates, it tends to feed in a little bit nicer too. So I'm gonna just kind of stagger that, making sure that I have all 3 layers underneath where the die is though. And this is having a little trouble since I already did some scoring to it. Let's shove that all the way through, shall we? Come on. Not. Let's okay, we'll just turn it around because it'll still feed through. All right, let's turn it this way. So we'll stagger those plates. It's got 3 layers right where the die is. And we can even go back the same way just to give it an extra push. And that should do it. Yes. So it's coming out now. We'll put, let's leave our die cut machine here because we still need to do this cute little tree. So one more time, we'll run this through. Or not, let's see. Okay, we need to do our staggers. There's our stair step staggers. And you can see, oh, that grabs it so much better. Do as I say, not as I do. All right, so here's our cute little tree, and here's the inside piece. You can see it's kind of stuck on here. So let's go ahead and just peel that off here with my fingernail or end of the scissors. We've got this little tiny insert for the tree. Necessary? No, but you can add it just like Melissa did by just kind of inserting it back into that, turning it over, and we can just add some tear and tape or just put it together with dimensionals. So I'm just going to add a little bit of tear tape just so I know that that's not going anywhere. There. And now we have our cute little tree for the front. So there's that. We have our die cut pieces here. I'm going to carefully remove my washi tape because sometimes if you're a little aggressive, it can rip your paper. But if you're real gentle, you can just peel that right off and reuse if you want to, or you can just throw those away. Real gentle. And if you do happen to rip your paper, you're going to stick your tree on top of that part. Okay, this is cute, right? So now we have 3 die cuts here. See, since we didn't add glue the whole way, we have 3 different die cuts left to play with because we cut all 3 of those layers out. So we can add those to another project, or, ooh, I wonder if we can even incorporate that to the front somehow here. Might be a little bit too much. It's an option. I think I'll just stick with the cute little skinny tree on this one and save those other ones for something else. Okay, so now we have our little tray here. We do want to add our window sheet on the inside here before we put this together. So everybody still with me? I'm going to add some glue, not all the way to the edge. This doesn't go all the way to the edge. It's 3 by 3, so there is a little bit of a lip. And I'm just going to stay kind of far away from the opening here too, in case this glue does ooze, which it will, just a smidge. And when you put it on, you don't want to smush it around and move it because you'll get glue where it will show through on the window. So do your best, and this is why we didn't put it too close to the window, but do your best to kind of put it down where it needs to go. And then we'll just kind of press that. You can use Seal Plus, tear and tape. I don't know why I use liquid glue. It was just there, so it'll work. And nobody will see this side anyway. It'll be on the inside of the box. It'll be really hard to see once we have that all together. So the prettiness of it doesn't really matter. You just want that to function and be stuck on there. This is a nice strong glue. All right, so now I'm going to add some Seal to the end here. And if I had Seal Plus over here, I would probably use that because it's really nice and strong. And I'm going to use my slider tool or tip here. This is one of my favorite crafting tips is when you are doing something that has a belly band or something and you want that perfect tension like this one where the insert isn't going to fall out, but it is easy to scoot back and forth. That perfect tension on the thing that's wrapping around is the bone folder. This is the secret. So you want to put this on the inside of whatever it is that you're attaching. See, it just gives that extra little tension that you want. So we'll just go ahead and make this nice and tight, nice and straight while that bone folder is in there. And then when we take that out, it should in theory be the perfect tension. Although it's really tight now that I say that. Maybe if we went this way. So it doesn't fall out, but it does scoot along just nicely. You don't want to make it too tight, but you don't want it too loose either, because then it just falls out. Okay, so now we can do our stamping. We wish you a Merry Christmas in real red on our little tag here. And I hope I do this one straight. Again, I think this one I did the sticker just right. So the words are straight on this side and they're straight looking here. So that is good. We will stamp that on our little banner here. Looks pretty good. I will add both of those things with dimensionals. So we'll get our dimensionals back out wherever those ended up. Oh, they're over here. And I'll add those two right here. So we did end up doing this one a little different with the tree here. I think that turned out pretty cute. So we'll add that there. Since the bottom of this is going to be kind of supported by this little banner, we'll just add dimensionals on the middle and maybe a sliver for the upper area. If you have mini dimensionals, mine are in the other room with my take your pick tool because I was using that earlier. I'll just add a little bit of the edge there to my piece. And we'll put this one over here. Actually, let's add a little bit of seal to help that stick down to the banner. You know what I mean. This thing, the sentiment. And let's see if we can't cut out a snowflake because I think that would be cute. The Festive Friends here has a cute little snowflake. Actually has a bunch of little snowflakes. These are kind of retro looking. And then this one's a little bit more decorative. I prefer this one, but you could do any of those. I have a little piece of scrap paper that I was going to cut those other little diamonds out with. And so we will just use this. I think it will still fit. Yes. All right, so I'll get my mini cut and emboss machine back out here and we'll put that on there. And my cover piece is right here. We'll stagger those plates, a little stair-stepping action, and then push those on through. You can see my little stair steps there coming through. And we're almost done with project number 2, day 1. All right, so I have all of these little bits to poke out. I use my scissor end just to kind of get everything out of the dies. Usually we have little release holes on our dies from Stampin' Up. That's handy. And now I can put this, I'm going to put it kind of overlapping. Oh, I think that's really cute. You know what I forgot to do is put the image on the inside. That's what we want that tree for. So we have 3 different colors to choose from, really. And we still have a bow and our dots to add on here. So super cute. All right, I'm going to add my snowflake here. And it's going to be flat because it's a little bit detailed and I don't want that to catch on anything and rip. So I'm just going to add a little bit of little dots of liquid glue there to stick it down. There, kind of overlapping the entry, the opening there, the window, I should say. And I can open up my box in order to give that a better press, like this. And we do want to open that up. We can put in our, this piece. Oh, what if we did this one instead? Kind of like a shadow on the inside. How would that look? We do that. That looks pretty cool. I know we like the pattern in there. That looks neat too. But I think I'm going to do this shadow, which kind of accents that edge piece here. Let's do that. So we're going to do our second one just slightly different. So this is like the directions, and then this is my slight alternative. Again, let me know which one you like better. There's no right and wrong answer. It's all preference, isn't it? Because I think they're both really cute. So there is, that's pretty cute. You can see the image is lined up in there, and we can even put, we'll just stick this in the same spot. I do like that. We'll make our bow a little bit smaller. I'll do some trimming. We'll get our glue dots out, and I hope that you enjoyed this day one of our Santa's workshop craft along. Stay tuned all week. We're going to be back all week long. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday for all of the other projects. So tomorrow we're actually doing my projects that I designed. So I hope that you tune back in for those. And we still need to put some dots on here. Hang on, where did my dots go? My dear dots, that's what these are called. And I think I'm going to do red just like this one because we have red here and we didn't add that anywhere else in here. I like to pull the same color in, but we're going to decorate the tree a little bit, I think. Ooh, what if we did all of the colors? Let's decorate the tree. I think that's a fun idea. Do you want any small ones? I think maybe just big ones. Is this too many? Who knows? Oops. Let's see. That's a little extra. Do you ever do something you're like, I don't know if I like that? Let's see. Maybe if we just did red. Maybe this is too much with all the different colors. Let's see how it would look with red, because then we only need to use like 3 of them, right? That's cuter. We could even sprinkle in some little ones. I like that. There. So that is project number 2. And here is the number 1. So let me know if you liked playing along with me today. I hope that you enjoyed that, and I will see you again tomorrow for Tuesday. Don't forget, our Black Friday special starts tomorrow, or tonight really, at midnight Mountain Time. So convert that to whatever your time zone is, and there is a lot of things on sale. So check out, I'll be emailing out the flyer for what's on sale. I've got it listed on my Facebook page here too, and just check that out. Oh, I don't know what happened. We got bonked, so there we go. I got my swaps from my team swaps that I'm receiving here. All right, thank you so much for watching. I will check back in with you tomorrow, and I hope you have a fabulous, fabulous day. And I gotta show you my shirt. Most likely to eat all of the cookies. So appropriate. All right, have a wonderful festive day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.